After 18 years of self-taught art and 39,865 pounds spent on world-class formal art training, here is the battle-tested truth on taught versus self-taught art. What really matters? Whether you are a self-taught artist navigating on your own or a seasoned artist wondering what's next, this video will wide open ideas that you might have never considered before. Hi, I am Parul, founder of Restart Art. I have a Master's in Fine Art from Chelsea College of Art, London, and 10 years of creative industry experience. I help you step into the artist you know you are. Not by copying pretty stuff, but by rebuilding your creative inner muscles from inside out. But how do you do that? Through self-learning or formal learning? Let's explore it now. Here's a little story of transition from self-taught phase to formally learning art phase that'll give you a glimpse of both the worlds. Back in school at A-levels, I was a medical student. Art was more like a side hobby and never got a chance to fully immerse myself in it. It was my art teacher who discovered me, who really worked very hard and guided me and finally encouraged me to try for a very reputable art college in India. On the day of entrance exam to that college, not only was I competing nationally, I was surrounded by people with dazzling polished works. I thought to myself, no way I'm getting in. They were miles ahead of me. But to my surprise, I got accepted. Later, I asked one of the professors from that college, why? And he said this. He told me, we don't look for the most polished work. What we look for is a talent that can create honest artworks. Something not massively overshadowed by prominent art styles. He further explained, a truth, even when spoken in a shaky voice, always outshines a lie that is spoken with great charisma. Truth in words, in poetry, in art, in any expression, shines differently. That is what we look for. And the remaining polishing of technique and skills, that is what we are here for, right? That struck a chord with me. I realized our perspective on what art is and how to learn it is highly influenced by centuries of artworks created by artists across the world. We look at art through the centuries of accumulated knowledge, technique, evolution. That is useful, but also for a beginner, it floods them with a long list of how-tos, do's and don'ts, rules, so many things. No wonder we feel nervous in bringing out something original which is not yet celebrated. And what we do, we go to a safe place of emulating what is accepted, what is trendy. In this entire process, that inner voice of original creative ideas gets sidelined. And this is exactly where the dance of taught and self-taught art begins. I have arrived at a very clear answer on this debate of taught versus self-taught art, which I will share in just a few moments. But before I do, I have a question for you. Imagine you are one of the first human beings on this earth. Now consider this question. What is inspiring you to make those cave wall paintings? There are no universities or free YouTube tutorials to learn from. What is stirring you to create that art? Please share your answers in the comments below. I really want to hear what is your opinion. That seed of creativity, independent of any external aid, is still alive in you and me, as it was in those cavemen. Back then, we were etching lines on cave walls. Now we are etching lines through canvas, iPad, virtual reality. The impulse to create is the same. So does that mean self-taught art is better? Let me walk you through it. You might be surprised. Let's look into the strength and downside of self-taught art. Self-taught artists build resilience, patience, self-reliance. Think of Basquiat, a young man painting the streets, turning raw graffiti into gallery gold. Or think of Grandma Moses. She picked up the paintbrush at the age of 78 and created artworks so honest that they touched millions. These self-taught artists did not wait for permission. They followed their inner guidance. But here is the downside. Without correct direction, without correct challenges, you risk, circling the same ground over and over again, meeting dead ends. This reminds me of what Isaac Newton once said. He said, what we already know is a drop. What we don't know is an ocean. So does that mean formally learning art is better than self-taught art? Let me walk you through that as well. You might be surprised. The gifts and traps of learning art formally. Formal art education gives you feedback, acceleration, and environment. It gives you wisdom of centuries in a very short time span in comparison to lifelong trial and error. My personal experience of spending 5 years in art university gave me critical thinking, technique, how to push past limits, and of course the market side of art. Look at Cézanne. Yes, he trained, but when formal schooling stifled him, he left. He left to develop a style that ultimately influenced Picasso and reshaped modern painting. Cézanne once said, "With an apple, I want to astonish Paris." Even the humble subject like an apple, approached with that kind of radical vision, did shake the art world. Then there is Rodin. Rejected 3 times by France's top art schools, yet he persevered. When his sculpture, The Age of Bronze, came out so lifelike, people accused him of casting from a real model. He proved them wrong and revolutionized sculpture. Rodin once said, "Patience is also a form of action." And here's a twist which most artists do not expect. Stick with me because this will save you years of frustration. Here is the hidden trap with formally learning art. Even the trained, celebrated artists can get boxed in due to the demands of market, gallery, or even their personal signature style. What once fueled their success can now limit their evolution just because they want to play it safe. Learning art formally definitely sharpens you, no doubt, but it can make you a perfect mimic if you do not approach it with an aware mind. So the big question is, which route to learning art is better? Should you lock yourself away grinding alone for years and years, or drop thousands of pounds on formal classes and hope they transform you? Let me introduce you to a third way, the true artist's path. Plato once gave an open warning. He said, art at its worst can become just a shadow of truth, an imitation of an imitation. But at its best, it points us towards the ideal, the eternal. And Socrates believed the artist was a vessel of divine inspiration, not just a master of craft. That true art flows from beyond the self. Before I go any deeper into this third way, tell me, is this way of looking at art resonating with you? If yes, please do not forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I am on a mission to awaken that innate confidence of all those artists whose creativity has been silenced by life, but are now yearning to rekindle that creativity. Alone, I can reach just a few people, but with your support, I can definitely reach and serve many. So please help me to grow this channel, expand its growth, and share it with people who you think are interested in art and would like to learn about art this way. Thank you. Now let me reveal the third way, where the artist's imagination takes flight, where their hands move with awesome dexterity, all anchored in deep intelligence and awareness. It is the brave path to walk with your own meditative truths and revelations, all along staying humble and open to to wisdom that lies beyond yourself. As Jordan B. Peterson says, the purpose of life is finding the largest burden you can bear and bearing it. For artists, that beautiful burden is carrying your inner vision along with outer mastery, across the years, across the noise. That is the kind of art we nurture at Restart Art. We don't just imitate reality, we help you to empower your inner artist and create from your inner voice. If this kind of art learning resonates with you, you would absolutely love my drawing session. It's a short 90-minute session where you will get a taste of understanding drawing in a visceral manner, not in the regular copying and repeating fashion. So if it interests you, I will leave the link in the description box below for you to check it out. Until we meet next time, remember, there are many ways to reach the mountain, but the real summit is reached when you boldly step into the artist you know you are.